Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Jen Bordeaux. I'm the Director of Public Relations with New Direction Family Law. And every month we do our little segment, Family Law Uncorked. And so today I have here with me Mr. Chris Hicks, who joined us a couple of months ago now. He's one of the attorneys here and has just jumped on board and taken the bull by the horns and going with it. So we thought we would introduce Chris to the viewers by asking a few questions. We'll be gentle.
Okay, good.
So we will start it off with something easy, a little bit about your background. So where did you go to school?
I went to Carolina for undergrad,
Okay.
UNC Chapel Hill, class of '06, and then went out to the Midwest, went to St. Louis University for law school.
That's right. I was thinking you went to Carolina for both.
No,
But,
no.
So, and if you've watched our other, probably going on close to a year or so ago now, we did one of these with our other associate attorney, Carly Baker, who also went to Chapel Hill. And we talked about the collegiate rivalry that we have in this office between State and Carolina. So now Carly has some backup with another Carolina fan. So, okay, so UNC and then the Midwest. And once you started practicing law, did you get into law school and family law was just your burning desire and you knew that's what you wanted to do? Is it something else, or you just didn't know?
No, it wasn't. I actually, when I was in law school, I actually went, and St. Louis was the top health law school in the country at the time. Probably still is, I don't know.
Okay.
But so I have a certificate in health law.
Okay.
Was really looking for something like that. Then I decided to come back home and started with a small general practice. And family law was one of the needs.
Okay.
Always in demand everywhere.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
I kind of took over that role in the firm, and that's how I got into it.
Awesome. So since you didn't start out that way, what then made you choose family law eventually? Because we'll get into you know how long you we'll say that now. How long have you been practicing?
Since April 2010. So
Okay.
almost 9 years.
Yeah. So if you went into general practice, that means you've practiced a few different areas of law, to say the least.
A lot, yeah.
So then at one point, did you just start gravitating towards family law, or was it just kind of that's what was coming through the door more? Or?
It was a little bit of both. I mean, I really enjoy family law. It's a little different every day.
Sure.
It gives a lot of new issues, different things to deal with, keeps things fresh. That's kind of what drew me to it. And I think the interaction with people is kind of what I like the most.
Okay.
Getting to deal with people as opposed to companies or 5-minute conversations here and there.
Sure.
You really get to kind of dive deep into what's going on with people.
So what are the other areas of family law that you have? Or not family law. Other areas of law that you have practiced?
Criminal defense, Department of Social Services, parent representation, juvenile representation. I was an attorney with the Veterans Court in Harnett County. I've done involuntary commitments. I've done guardian ad litem work for incompetent folks. A little bit of a lot of things.
Yeah. So with all of that, do you think all that combined lends itself to fit your practice of family law and being able to attack at different angles?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, you've always got things crossing over with family law. You have criminal aspects. I mean, we have cases here where somebody's broken the law, domestic violence issues, things like that. They always kind of creep back into your family law practice, and it's nice to be able to say, well, I know this, instead of saying you need to call someone else.
Sure. And I know that you've practiced in some other counties, specifically Johnston County, Harnett County, and now you've been obviously being indoctrinated into Wake County. So has that been tough in adjusting to Wake County? Has it been vastly different than the other counties? Or
It's different in Wake. It's a bigger county for one. A lot more attorneys. You don't get to, you don't know everyone. I don't walk down the hall in Wake County Court and know everybody.
Yeah.
So it's just it's an adjustment, but I like it. I do. It's been nice to just do something fresh.
Sure. And he's still practicing in Johnston County and Harnett County and surrounding counties. So
Lee, Durham.
No
Orange,
fear for if the
go.
needs are in those counties
Right.
as well. Okay, so since you've been practicing family law now for about 9 years, has there been one thing that stood out to you the most that surprised you in the practice of all of it?
I think the amount the degree that people will let you in, to their life is probably the most surprising thing. You expect to learn a lot of things, but the trust that people have in you, when you're dealing with their kids and their house and their retirement, things like that, the degree that they trust, somebody, I think is the most surprising thing to me.
And have you ever, this is just out of curiosity now that you're saying that, because I know, some of the things that we come across, it's not just for Lifetime movies. It actually happens.
Yeah.
So, have you ever gotten started and then, you can tell it's kind of something that may be a little more scandalous and then it comes out later on?
Oh, yeah. And I've told a couple people today, I have one main rule for clients, and that's don't lie to me. One of the worst feelings in the world is being in a trial and learning something new for the first time. And it happens. People are people, and they're going to be ashamed of certain things, and it's my job to help them feel okay telling me those things.
Yeah, so if you ever need a family law attorney, don't be ashamed of anything, because the high likelihood that they've heard it all. So, and they need to know it all, honestly. So, all right, so that's what surprised you most, is that people let you in, which I think is awesome. That's great. So what is your favorite thing about practicing family law?
My favorite thing kind of goes hand in hand with that. The best thing to me is, getting that Christmas card, the picture of, mom and her kids, or grandma and the kids, and knowing that you helped put that in place.
Sure. Yeah, that is an awesome feeling to see that the clients at the, the light at the end of the tunnel, because generally if people are coming into our office, they're not in the best place, and they feel like they've got the weight of the world on their shoulders, whatever their circumstances are. So to see them at the end of everything, it's like the sun is shining again, and that weight has been lifted, and they now have a new direction to move with in life. And most times it might be very, very different and seem stressful, but it's generally also very, very positive as well.
And I've been doing it long enough now that I've had kids thank me for what I did.
That's
got to
be super rewarding. That's awesome.
It is.
That's great. Okay, so we'll switch a little bit from, if it's okay with you, from the law side of things to get to know you a little bit better.
Right.
So you said you went to the Midwest for law school, and then you moved back home. So where are you? Is North Carolina home?
I'm Benson.
Good old Benson. Mule days.
Oh, yeah. Born and raised.
And so then obviously you're very familiar with the surrounding areas. But so how long have you been in Raleigh?
I've lived in Raleigh since 2009. So I've lived here for 10 years.
Okay.
My wife is an attorney downtown. I was making the commute out to Harnett County.
Nice.
Every day.
Ooh, bless you. So Raleigh is definitely home. So you and I have talked about our personal love for craft beer. We're not ashamed of it.
Right.
Raleigh is a fantastic scene for it. So do you have a favorite? Is it possible to choose a favorite local brewery?
I guess it is possible. I try not to. I don't discriminate. And it's kind of like barbecue for me too. It's, I'm going to go off the region. If I'm in Durham, I really like Full Steam.
Okay.
If I'm in Raleigh, I really like Trophy. But I don't dislike any other ones. I like Gizmo. I like Raleigh Beer Company. I like all of them.
Yeah. And always worth a try. As soon as a new one pops up, and it seems like there's always a new one popping up.
Yeah.
So Raleigh's a great scene for that. Okay, so I have to ask this just because I know that I've mentioned it, and when we were wanting to bring on another attorney, we had all been very used to it being like our own little female club in our office. And then along comes Chris and says, nope, not anymore. So we have thoroughly enjoyed having you here. And how has it been for you because that's a daunting task to come into an office full of women. So
yeah, I don't think I was as intimidated as
we thought you were going to be.
Thought I would be. One, I'm not used to. My last practice was a very unconventional office, so I'm okay with getting involved with personal aspects of people's lives.
The banter he might hear around the office.
But aside from that, everybody from my grandmother, my mom, my wife, my sister, even my daughter are all strong, independent women. So I'm used to it. I'm used to being told what to do and put in my place when I need it, and I'm okay, and I appreciate that. So yeah, it's not intimidating to me. You know,
Well,
I've enjoyed it.
Good. It's been awesome. It's been, we know whenever we're out of line, whenever Chris is just shaking his head, walking away, and he just is, I can't contribute to this conversation, so
Right.
I'm out. So it's been great. So thank you for taking a leap
Sure.
with faith and working with all of us
Sure.
as well. Okay, so the last question I have for you is, what is something that most people don't know about you or would be very surprised to know about you?
I don't know about that. I mean, I'm
Other than you were
pretty
born
open
with this
book.
magnificent
It's
beard.
true. It's not. It actually takes a lot of work. I don't really keep too much hidden as far as things I don't know. A lot of people probably don't know I still play in an adult basketball league in Cary. Basically, I try not to injure myself.
Okay.
Everybody knows I have a little girl. They don't know that I have daddy-daughter dance parties.
That's amazing.
After dinner.
Everyone that
with her,
is
yeah.
watching this just went, oh.
So I think that's probably, the thing most people don't know is what I'm like.
So you're still an
with her.
aspiring professional basketball player.
Sure. I have
And
a lot, yeah. If any college coaches are watching, I have all my eligibility.
Nice. And
Yeah.
you're truly your daughter's prince Prince Charming in real life. So that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I'm not going to keep you for too much longer because
Okay.
you've already been here all day.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you taking the time to do this. And if you guys are ever interested in coming in for a consultation with Chris, give us a call. If you have any follow-up questions, we'll be here. You can reach out to us via Facebook or through our website or call in directly in at 919-719-3470. So again, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next month on Family Law in Court. Have a good night.
Take care.